weeks of July on vacation, and I will say, my 2 Sundays off, I didn't go to church. Don't tell my mom, please, whatever you do. But I do try and go to church when I'm not here on a Sunday, because it's very rare that I can actually go to church on Sunday. So I want to share some reflections on that, because I did have 2 church experiences that were very profound. And the first happened in Manhattan. My son Jefferson and I were in Midtown Manhattan, and we went to St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is there on Fifth Avenue. I don't know if any of you have been to St. Patrick's Cathedral, but Fifth Avenue is not what you would call necessarily a spiritual place. When you think of like the desert or a hermitage overlooking a lake, there on Fifth Avenue, Saks Fifth Avenue is right across the street from St. Patrick's Cathedral, and Rockefeller Center is right up the road, and you've got the businesses and the tall buildings that suggest that this is the center of finance and commerce for perhaps for the whole world. And so the people on the street who are walking around outside of St. Patrick's Cathedral there on Fifth Avenue are people who are, many of whom are wrapped up in thoughts of finance and commerce and business and action. And so when they come into the cathedral, of course, they bring that with them. Just as when you open the doors to the building, to the outside, all that is out there comes in. The smell of the hot dogs and the hot dog vendors, the sounds of the subway and the horns of the taxis, and the heat from the pavement, and the people bring in with them all of their embedded joys and concerns and thoughts about all that they're doing. And yet, as you walk into St. Patrick's Cathedral, there's a barrier that you cross through. We have a narthex. They have a narthex. And the narthex is that space between the outer doors and this inner sanctuary of the church. And when I crossed through the narthex of St. Patrick's Cathedral, a profound feeling came over me. And so I wanted to look and see, does the same thing happen to other people when they come in this holy space? So I spent a few moments just watching the people as they came in. I grew up in Michigan, and many of the houses near where I grew up have what we call a mudroom. And the mudroom is that place in the back where if you've been out in the woods all day, and you've been out gardening, you've been out jousting through the snow, or falling into lakes, and as I did when I was a kid, and getting all messy, you go into the mudroom, and you take off your coat, and your hat, your scarf, and your mittens, and you take off your boots, because you don't want to bring those things into the house with you. So when I was at St. Patrick's, I was looking around at the people, and I saw them go through this process, spiritually, psychologically, of taking off this armor that they had been wearing out in the streets, of taking off these concerns that they had been bearing with them, of leaving them in the mudroom of the soul, which is the narthex of the church. And I watched and I saw them do it again and again and again. And as far as I can tell, that is a universal experience for people when they come into church. And perhaps the same thing happened to you yourself this morning when you came in here. Maybe you didn't even realize it, but didn't you take something off when you came in here, when you passed through the narthex? Because you don't need all that stuff with you. You don't need all that you have to survive out there, in here, your worldly ambitions, the sense of you have of how great you are, how important you are, this sense you have of all the amazing things you do. Just leave it there at the narthex. The same with your anxiety and concern about your life. Your worry about how things in your life will turn out. You know, I've got a spoiler alert. Your life will turn out okay. And when you leave that in the narthex, it's so much better. And the same with the anger, the insecurity, the jealousy, the fear that we all carry around with us so much of the time. Just leave that there at the threshold in the narthex, and leave that ego, which wants so desperately to control things, but which is crushed again and again because we can't control very much in this life. And so what happens when you leave all of these things behind and you enter into the sanctuary, as it were, naked of the world, with your soul bared open to the presence of God in Jesus Christ? What happens? and you get fed. You get nutrients for the soul that the stuff and the matter of the world is not good at giving us. And I have that experience. You get loved. The other church-related experience I had when I was away, one of my colleagues, Janet Zimmerman, who's a priest in the Southern Berkshires, her husband, Seymour, died very suddenly. And so I went to his funeral. That was the one church service that I went to. Not because I knew him, but because I know Janet. And I care a great deal for her. So I went to his funeral, and as the service started, I got really emotional. And it wasn't because I had a connection with him, but I heard these words: unto whom all hearts are open, all desires known, and from whom no secrets are. And it's like a song that you've heard since your childhood. You know these words so well. And I sat there and I listened to the story of Jesus Christ sharing of himself, and I listened to the sermon, which is the sermon of hope and the promise of resurrection. And I sat there and I got really emotional, and I felt present. Once again, I felt thankful for the presence of the church in my life. After having not been at church, for 2 weeks, I felt this is something that feeds me. You know, I'm a big believer in church, and you may not know it from my job, but I don't know at what point that happened in my life. I used to be content I was the only one at home on Sunday morning. I used to be content to be spiritual, but not religious, whatever that means. But then suddenly you find yourself at a funeral giving thanks to God for the presence of the church, because there's nothing that feeds you like the service of church. In the gospel today, there is this incredible moment of feeding, where Jesus takes a few loaves and a few fishes and he feeds more than 5,000 people. And it's not like those people have never eaten before in their lives. Each of them has had the experience of eating, but they have never been fed. And I know that for everyone here, we have all come in here. Unlike so many people in the world, we have all come in here this morning with shirts on our backs, with roofs over our heads, with food in our bellies, but perhaps, even though we have food, perhaps we are not being fed. The moment you cross the threshold of the church and you enter the narthex of this holy temple, here you are in the presence of the miracle of Jesus Christ, and you are fed with something that you will not be fed with outside, in the same way, which is God's unbidden grace, which comes not because you have earned it, or because of anything you have done that makes you special, or because of anything you possibly could have brought in here from out there, but which comes because of the God that we have, who loves and cares for us, to the center of our core, who forgives us, who lifts us up, and who wishes only the best for us for the future. And that's what Jesus gives us, and he gives us more. And I think it's impossible to really know that and feel that if you walk into church from the street and you're still thinking like you're out on Fifth Avenue. Or you're still thinking like you're out on Chestnut Street, or you're out on Maple Street, or Main Street, USA, at any town. You have to adjust yourself to the reality of church. And I'm the first to admit, in her history, the Christian church has not always been the best place for people. For many, many, many years, church has been part of this hierarchy that has said, you go to church or you go to hell. It doesn't really reflect the Jesus I believe in. Or there's been this puritanical streak that has said, you have to accept the love of Jesus Christ or you're going to get punished. Something ironic about that. Church has been forced and pushed and demanded and compelled for so many people that you get a sense perhaps that's why people are afraid to come into the building. Maybe that's what they think they're going to find. And the gospel today has this interesting piece. I don't know if you noticed this when Deacon Linda read it, but the gospel has this very important piece where not only does Jesus feed the people and give them what they want to make him the king. And Jesus doesn't accept it, but it's interesting, isn't it? This thinking of the world and the power out there and the power of Jesus. I think that living under kings, as we do, we become accustomed to thinking that kings are everything. I think that living under kings, as we do, we become accustomed to thinking that we need kings. That the power, the might, the wealth of armies, and the empire and the worldly glory is that which we need in our lives. Because we live under kings. And we say, well, Jesus is important, kings are important, therefore Jesus must be a king. But this thinking comes because when we enter the narthex of the church, we don't adjust ourselves. We don't take off our worldly understanding. We are confused in the power of kings because we don't appreciate always the ethos of church, which says the last shall be first. Which says that the meek shall inherit the earth. Which says that there is a preferential option for the poor. That there is compassion for our enemies. That there is love for people who differ from us. That there is acceptance for all of God's children. This power of Jesus Christ. Now we work for justice and peace. I think when we enter here, we have to adjust the thinking as we cross the threshold. And sometimes, depending on the day, it's a huge adjustment. I come in here sometimes ready to fight with my worst enemy and fight with my wife. I come in here sometimes filled with self-loathing and shame. I come in here sometimes filled with this dread and anxiety that is an existential fear. And I come in here sometimes numb, uncaring about anything. And always, when I leave changed. I always leave better and more fit to the purpose of God, which is that I am God's servant. Church changes things. When I'm able to leave in that narthex all that weighs me down and kills my soul and deadens my spirit, when I'm able to leave in the loving hands of Jesus Christ, I understand the world out there so much better. And it took me a couple weeks away. I will give you permission as your dean. Take a couple weeks off if you need to. But keep coming back. Because the promise is that we see it anew every single week. Every single time we enter as if this were the first time. Ready to have this change and shape us so that we can be the instrument that goes out and changes